So just a few things also about Munich. What I'm going to do here is go to this website. This is the Deutsche Welle website, and I'm just going to play briefly, and you're welcome to go and search this website. Lots and lots of information for learning German, and I'm going to go down to the Dialekt Atlas, and we have here all the different types of dialects that are found in Germany. Okay, so it isn't just Hochdeutsch that one speaks there, but the Germans are very dear to their dialects. I've spent a lot of time in Austria, which speaks a part of the Bayerisch. Okay, quite challenging to understand. And I'm just going to play just a few seconds of this and see. Hopefully this works for you on your computer. And I'm going to stop it there because it's quite challenging to understand, even for me, but I am able to pick up some of it. But you might have heard ich mag dich, so ich mag dich. So a lot of times in the Bavarian dialect, they're going to drop certain elements. So I would be used instead of saying ich, die instead of dich, etc. So net instead of nicht. Okay, so we'll go over some of these different aspects at another point, but I don't want to spend too much time on it because we're not trying to teach you Bavarian dialect. We're trying to teach you basically Hochdeutsch. Okay. Also, I've included this. This will be helpful for the homework that's due Friday. This short little Wortshots, and this can be found in your text on page 65 or on page 61 actually of your ebook. Okay, so it's just a short list of words. Die Auskunft, begreifen, gegenseitig, zugleich are some important words there. Okay, next thing I'd like you to consider going over for your blog post. Okay, I have posted the website for Oktoberfest, okay? And I had mentioned in class on Monday that Oktoberfest, I thought it began today. I was incorrect about that. It does begin am 20. September here, as you can see. So es geht von 20. September, Entschuldigung, bis 5. Oktober. Okay, so even though it's called Oktoberfest, it actually begins now. And you can see this is das 181. Münchner Oktoberfest. Okay? And was Sie machen sollen für den Blog oder für den Moodle-Forum ist hier, okay, hier anschauen. Es gibt hier ein bisschen Informationen, ja, besonders hier die Zelte, und ich zeige Ihnen zum Beispiel große Zelte, naja, die großen Zelte auf dem Oktoberfest. Also was ist ein Zelt? Also das hier sind ein paar Bilder von den Zelten, ja. Wie beim Jazzfest. Es gibt diese verschiedenen Zelten, wo man essen können, wo man trinken kann, etc. etc. Also es gibt hier ein paar Zelte, 1 bis 14, ja, Löwenbräu, Festhalle zum Beispiel. Und wir klicken hier, beliebter Treffpunkt und kaum zu übersehen. Den Eingang des Löwenbräu-Zeltes bewacht ein riesen Löwe, der satte 4,5 Meter hoch ist. Okay. Und hier gibt es auch eine Website für Löwenbräu-Zelte. Und hier kann man lesen und mehr Informationen erkunden. Willkommen im Löwenbräu-Festzelt. Okay. Speisekarte. Okay, was kann man hier essen, was kann man trinken? Also das ist ein Teil Ihrer Aufgabe. Welches Zelt besuchen Sie? Was machen Sie beim Oktoberfest? Was essen Sie? Was trinken Sie? Etc. Na gut. Okay. Und letztens ist hier, naja, what I wanted to go over for the last part of this short little tutorial, one of the main grammar points for this chapter is das Perfekt. We have used this already. Okay, and I have two examples here. This one is the most commonly used past tense form for conversation. Doesn't mean that it's always used in conversation. Sometimes we will use the simple past. Ich war gestern krank. I was sick yesterday, for example. Ich hatte viele Hausaufgaben. I had lots of homework. But mostly, looking at these two questions, was hast du gestern gemacht und warum bist du zu Hause geblieben? So what did you do yesterday and why did you stay home? Okay. And you can see here I have two different forms. I'm using the du pronoun for each of these, okay, but I have the haben and sein forms conjugated. So remember that in the perfect tense, okay, we need to have an auxiliary verb, and it's basically just a helping verb, and that has to be either haben or sein plus the past participle. That past participle is sent to the very end of the sentence. Okay, and there are different forms of those verbs. They're not always going to have the g, right? We have other examples of when not to use the g, and that would be, and I'm going to type down here, with verbs with prefixes such as fair, right, and air. Okay, so can you tell me three verbs, one beginning with fair, one beginning with and one beginning with that would not use the g, if that makes any sense. Gut. So haben. When do we use haben? Basically, if you have a direct object. Okay. Zum Beispiel here. Was hast du gestern gemacht? What did you do yesterday? All right. Or also if there's no change in location or condition. So here are some typical verbs that we have: machen, essen, kochen, schreiben, lesen, kaufen, verkaufen. Remember, the person doing the action is the subject, the nominative, all right, and then the accusative is going to be the direct object. So what are you making? What are you doing? What are you eating, cooking, writing, reading, buying, selling, etc.? Okay, and also, can you tell me what the past participle forms of these verbs are? Now, when do we use sein? When we have a change in location. If we go from a point A to point B, fahren, gehen, laufen, wandern, schwimmen, fliegen. Okay. Change in condition, meaning werden. Werden is a versatile verb. It can be used for the future tense. Ich werde nach Canada fliegen. I will fly to Canada. But it can also be used when we change a condition, such as becoming ill, or if someone unfortunately passes away. Ich bin letzte Woche krank geworden. I got sick last week. Okay, that's how you would change that. Or if you have a birthday. Ich werde morgen 20 Jahre alt. Okay, I'll be 20 years old tomorrow. Okay, there is the exception. That's bleiben, and I have that here in this example. Warum bist du zu Hause geblieben? That's the exception. You're not really changing a location, and you're also not really changing a condition. And there's really no use of a direct object there. So bleiben, ist geblieben, okay, would be the exception for using sein. Also, can you tell me what the past participles are of these verbs and also of werden? Und das ist alles für heute. Danke. Tschüss.